Make some more drizzle. Got a fireplace. Got smell good for these, man. But welcome. I was promised these videos like a month ago. But been slacking a little bit. That's on me. I do have like 10 pre-made. We're on that. I've been working on a lot of these for a while, getting some data for some of them, grinding it out, grinding the tape, if you will. But for this first video, I'm recording all of these tonight, most likely. So I will not be spraying that because that's $170. I'll be spraying that every time. But for this first one, you get a little fancy for it. This is the top 5 franchises in CSA history and how they look moving forward. I think going after one season, you couldn't really do this. It's one season. The best one, the top 5 was just how they finished off. But going, like, looking at it now, you can definitely say some have gone better, some have gone worse. Like, I'm gonna throw an example to start. Zoms, my goat, one of the most beloved people in the community, had an amazing season 1, the best season 1. And then season 2 was not his fault. Not his fault. Oh, not his fault, man. Not his fault, man. But it happens. But going forward, I'm hopping up in this list every season because I think some 2-season franchises, wink, wink, foreshadow, foreshadow, could be overcoming some 3-season franchises very soon. Yeah. So I'm excited to talk about this. Talking about some great GMs. This was a hard list to make, in all honesty, just because there's a lot of franchises. I'm just gonna say some that didn't make it, but I'm gonna talk about more so later. They're just right outside. You could argue that they should be here, and I'd say, yeah, valid. Um, the Chicago Titans are not here. Maybe Micro's not here. But for number 5, I have my franchise, the Baltimore Boxers. GMing zero chips. This is Mickey Mouse. I know. I'm so Mickey Mouse. But I'm explaining here. I'm the only GM in this list with no championships. I know I'm fraudulent. I'm fraudulent. But while I do not have that, I have never missed the playoffs. Play-ins. Someone's gonna today in Wi-Fi gonna ping me. Actually, you mean the play-ins, not the playoffs? Playoffs. But only franchise who never miss. Some have gone 10 for 11. Some have gone 9 for 10. Nope, gone 11 for 11. But me, I think that puts me in an echelon above the other no championship teams. Because it's a really weird spot here at the 5 spot because there's 4 active franchises, 5 that have won. One's only been there for 1 season and a half? Question mark demos. So that this is the one I was foreshadowing to earlier, where he's more than likely going to be on this list if I do not win a championship. I don't think I can. I think I put myself unless I go perfect. If I go perfect 18 for 18, I might be able to convince myself with enough bias to put myself on this list over demo. But I really don't think I can put myself over demo if he has 2 seasons of playing great and has a championship. So that's why this is a little Mickey Mouse. But there's only 4 active ones that have more than 1 season that have won a chip, and they're all above me. So I think I'm the best one with 0 chips. I don't think that's crazy to say. I mean, I listed the Titans, I listed the Makos, all finished around the same. No chips, all that 5 to 7 range at the end of the season. So I think it's valid to have me on this list, and I think that's cool. And moving forward, I remain the GM for season 3, and it's I'm looking for more deep runs with my team to make the franchise more respected. I have my respect, of course, but I don't have a chip, man. I want to win a championship. I went to Major 1 finals with my superstar squad, but I want to win a real championship, man. And that number. I also want to call him back at the number 1 spot in wins. I'm number 3 right now, behind people who are on this list I will be mentioning later, who are greats, who are arguably the first and second best franchise. So shout out to those guys. But going to the next one here, we have the Watch the Winning Gates. GM 22 Power 22. We got a chip in Novice Season 1. He's built his community off of his respect and just honesty, and he's just a great dude. Like top best guy ever. He'd be invited to my wedding. He might pay for my wedding. That's how cool he is. Yeah, he said he fostered the best team in CSA history. I know that his team had more points, but I don't think they were better. They didn't win the championship. So he has the best team ever. He won a chip with them, and his team has always been good. They've been good. He has a championship, and the level of community he's built is not, you can't compare to any other GM. I don't think there's another one that I can think of that has built as much of a community as he has. I really think, like, that's not Mickey, but like that matters, dude. And when you're talking about franchises, building a good community within your franchise is so important. He's done just that. So I think he's really valued here at the 4 spot. Moving forward, he remains the GM for next season, is looking more in-season team success moving forward. By that, I mean, like he's had some wonky teams. I will say Novice has definitely boosted up his win total and win percentage total. But the other teams aren't bad. It's just, you want to see that him turn that curve from going from like the eighth, ninth franchise to getting into that top five, like 5, 6 through 7 range. Usually around 8 or 9. I think he finished around there this season and last season as well. But it's, more in season success so that you can see just more winning. Win more and you're better. Fun fact. But going on to the next one, we have the Acrid Kings with GM Busy. He's had a world class championship from season 1. He's had more world class success than any other GM by far. And I think that's what sets him apart. I mean, the biggest tier, the most important tier, is the one that gets the most money, most love. So I think having that amount of success in that tier puts him slightly overpowered as a franchise. So that's why I got him there. I mean, there's a world class team, was top 4 this season, won last season. No one's came close to that. I think. I know that's definitely the most success. So shout out to him for that, man. Doing greatness with the top tiers over there. And he's also made 10 out of 11 to make play-ins. He's the second most ever for that. So shout out to him. Always builds for great teams. So moving forward, he's been upper echelon both seasons and will remain the GM moving forward. So I expect him to keep being really good. It's just simple. I think people always expect Busy's teams to be good, and I think it's valid to do so. His drafting strategy is always just best player available, and it works 99% of the time. Some people hate on it. I hate on it low key because I like to build friend teams, and he just builds good teams, regardless if they like each other. Unfortunately for some, but yeah, he makes good teams. So going forward, the next one we got the San Antonio Stallions. GM was takeover. Was the big takeover. He's got 2 championships, both won last season. Finds himself number 1 all time in wins. He had 3 teams make the finals this season. So this one season definitely gonna boost him up quite a bit. But he's been here for 2. He won 2 this season, made it to 3. That's the most tied for the most championship appearances, or tied for the most championship wins ever. The novice chip with his novice team's number 1 seed. The best team in the league, or the best team in their tier. The novice this season, they whooped butt in the world class. Was an interesting one. I believe they were the 2 seed going in, and they were obviously a good team and winning against the demon squad of living in Page, Lev and pitching. But yeah, moving forward, Houday is now the new GM of this franchise, which is definitely interesting. Houday is a ball knower. He did Loki tried to diss me in my DMs. I saw the Houday, but tried to say, "Oh, can you be you're not a ball knower? You're not a ball knower." I was like, Houday, levels to this ball knowledge, right? But yeah, moving forward, we'll interesting to see what Houday does. He did opt to not have world class this season. Some are calling Houday a Dodger. Oh, Houday, take over did all this. You're just peeing on his legacy. But yeah, I think he'll be fine. World class, I don't want to say it's hard to draft. I think Prim was a harder tier to manage than world class in all honesty, but I have really, really good world class captains, and Prim was just my Prim team. They were good. They always played. It's just Prim was like that middle ground weird tier for everybody. It felt, but I feel like there were some teams where it's like, okay, that team's not good. But yeah, going to the next one, the number 1. I should have had like an extra slide in there for the dramatics, but the Atlanta Aces, I don't think this should be a debate. I just think it's obvious. He's been to 2 championships both seasons. He's won 2. He won 1 last season. He won Academy this season in what is the best finals ever, and it's not close. It's close. It's close. The professional one from this season was also really nice. Went to Game 7 OT. That's peak. But yeah, the Academy chip reverse sweep after like looking horrible. Bank Shark. Those who will watch the next video. Bank Shark with an amazing performance in the playoffs. Just amazing season. He's number 2 all time in wins. Number 1 in playoff appearances for championship appearances for franchise for GM. Because Demo's been on 2. He's been to 4 championships, but he's been on 2 separate franchises. So you do have to split that in half. It's a little different, but Yeah, I mean, I think he's the best, and I don't think it's that big of an argument that Condor has been the best GM through 2 seasons, the best franchise. Shout out the logo. I almost used those assets in my logo, but shout out. Yeah, I mean it's Bank Shark's so beautiful. I love Bank Shark so much. Greatness from them this season. And then Pro last season with a sub up, and they almost happened again. Like it's he just builds great teams, man. This is beautiful to see Connor's teams, and he's the only dude that owns me. Like I'm gonna be real, like he's the only franchise that actively just owns me in CSA. Like every other franchise, I have either like a barely below 500 record or a winning record. I have like a 30% winning record against him. There's like 50 games. Like it's I don't know what he just owns me. But shout out to Condra. But moving forward for him, he's returning for his third season where he looks to keep being the best ever. And unfortunately, for being the best ever, it is really hard to keep being the best ever. That is the hardest part about being number one is staying there. Your only competition is yourself. And that can sometimes a little harder, but with number two and being Hude, I think Condra could definitely cement a good lead on anyone. If he makes another championship this season, then go ahead and write him down as the GOAT. Be real. He makes two, don't even argue it. Like 6 championship appearances. He gets 3 wins. Craziness. Basically Braun, Condra Braun is what they're start calling him. But I want to talk about honorable mentions here. The new franchises. We got the St. Louis Archers. Jose was really good last season. His win percentage wasn't great, but he did have 2 championship appearances, 1 championship win. Some are saying it's a Mickey Mouse, but that might be yours. But yeah, I think going forward, he does have a kind of a weird situation where he's not going to be there this season. Really, he's going to have 2 AGMs kind of doing most of the work for him. But if they can do a decent job, I think Jose's franchise should definitely be in the mix for a while for this top 5 list. And then we have the New York Empire. I'm big on Juan. He's a big people's person, and I think that matters a lot to me when you're a GM. Is people liking you? No one likes you. I'll tell you, dude. But yeah. Then I have a little asterisk here with the Toronto Six. This is their third season as a franchise, but this is basically their third GM. Has was season one. Has was season two. It was mainly just Spooky and Stick though, because Has got banned and Has just wasn't there for half the season in the first place. It's a weird little wishy-washy area. So I have him new because he's a new GM to this, and there's a lot of uncertainty about what Earn can do, of course. But he's got a history behind him. This franchise has history behind it. So if they can, he's just okay. He just has to be. If he's okay, that's fine. I'll be real. For the 7 Toronto 6 fans out there, if he's okay, that's greatness compared to what they were last season. Um, and they have a championship. I forgot about that. They do have a championship. But I don't think that matters because they had like one team last season. There was a team that won a championship, but that was such an outlier for that franchise. I was like on accident. It's because Hahabu was a demon for itself. And now old franchises that are just off this list: the Makos, the Titans. I talked about them. Said Mako's fourth all time in wins, Titans sixth all time in wins. DJ taking over for AK this year with the Titans. I think DJ is some have interesting thoughts about DJ. I think he gets stuff done. He could be very, very blunt and straightforward, and some people don't like that, but I fuck with that. Shout out DJ. And then Luigi, he doesn't have a championship, and that just seems so weird because it's so obvious that Luigi is a great GM, but he's kind of stuck with me in that same like we just gotta go without, dude. Like we gotta get a championship. Then I have the Denver Schwed, the Zomster. He got a championship, but there's my statement being the beginning of this was really wrong. Was it? Might have been wrong. A lot of these franchises have chips, but they've had really disastrous season twos for the Toronto Six and the Denver Shreds case, where Zoms had only 2 teams make playoffs, and one was kind of a burger, and the other one just choked. That was really weird. Um, it was a good novice team he had, but unfortunately played the J Bay. So he's going to lose that one. Now I have the Savannah Phantom Beard demo. I was talking about him earlier. He had a lot of success, but only one season. He's a lot of success as a GM, but as a franchise, I'm not combining franchises. That's so gross. It's so gross. I'm not doing that. The first little interim GM thing he had was a different. That's not counting towards the stats. Savannah Phantom stats only. And moving forward, I could definitely see him I said maybe overtaking me, overtaking, busy power because he's just been great. He came back. He almost didn't come back, and I had to update this like 3 seconds before I started the video because I forgot about that. He was not coming back at first, but now he is. So I'm so excited to hear. Shout out to him, man. But that is it for this one. Thank you all for watching, and make sure to sign up, play.csa.com to sign up. There should be a big old button that says sign up. You should all do that immediately. It's a great league, and we're looking forward to season 3 and seeing where these franchises stand. We got so many new faces this season. I think it's like 12 new GMs. That is bonkers. I think it might be like 18 actually. Like an insane amount of new people. So we're seeing a lot of new faces this season, which would be really interesting. It'd also be really good for the old GMs because we have a little bit of advantage. I like to think I'm better than all 18 of them. I like to think that personally. Going forward, it'd be really nice to see what happens though. So thank you all for watching, and I will catch you in the flippity flop.